Hey, it's Amy Brown from The Bobby Bone Show. Join me in supporting St. Jude Children's Research Hospital for a chance to win a trip to meet Megan Maroney at the 2025 iHeart Country Festival in Austin, Texas on May 3rd, hosted by Bobby Bones. We're going to hook you up with tickets, flights, hotel, food credits, and a meet and greet with Megan Maroney. Take action now to support St. Jude and help cure childhood cancer, and you're going to be entered for a chance to win. Visit iHeartCountryTrip.com to learn more.
How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Snap Material Podcast. We are back. It is now March, and we are getting ready to unleash all of our, I don't know how much it is, Snap knowledge right into your ear holes.
Snap hearsay.
Snap assumptions.
Speculation.
Snap judgments.
There you go.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, so, Evan, we are getting ready to talk about the previous season, which was Brave New World. We also have the upcoming season, which is called the Prehistoric Avengers. We got our meta unlocks on tap. We might have a battle ready for you, and we also have a top 5. Let's start with Brave New World, which started February 4th, 2025. Let's start with the premier card, which is Sam Wilson, Captain America. 2 cost, 3 power. Game start, add Cap's shield to a random location. Sam Wilson's ongoing is you can move Cap's shield. Is that right?
At the start of the game, add Cap Shield to random location. Ongoing, you can move Cap Shield.
Okay. Cap Shield is a 1 cost, 1 power. Ongoing, this can't be destroyed. Give your Cap plus 2 power when this moves to Cap's location. All right. Seemed like he was pretty useful. People were using him quite a bit. I didn't get the season, so I did not get Sam Wilson, Captain America, but I did see him quite a bit. My notes here were that he seemed like favorite during Sanctum Showdown. And I think I know why, because you just start with Cap Shield right out there, 1-1, and that's already giving you a boost to possibly get some points with Sanctum Showdown. Other than that, people were wanting to use him quite a bit. I would say I saw him a lot, probably lost to him a lot. What are your thoughts on Sam Wilson? What happened with you?
Well, I didn't pull the trigger immediately, but by the second day, I was like, yeah, I kind of like that. Maybe if I had gotten the Falcon variant with Sam as Captain America so long ago, that wouldn't have been as tempting. But yeah, I did end up getting him. The first thing I tried to do was a deck with a bunch of cards that just jump on automatically, like Cap Shield and Makari. I swear there were other people, but that one didn't last very long. I think I said when we did the preview last time that my auto deck generator and then something I saw on Reddit pretty quickly paired him with Doom 2099.
Okay.
That's what I saw a lot of, and that's what I ended up using, because they're cards that not only work with the cards they create, but they work with other cards. Like this gives a bonus to Steve Rogers. Some people argued it should go to U.S. Agent. It doesn't go to Patriot. I figured that out. Doom 2099 boosts Doom and his Doom bots too. So basically I used an ongoing deck with Dazzler to take advantage of filling up every lane and things like that. It adds up.
Spectrum in there?
Yeah, Spectrum in there. Hopefully, who else did I use? Oh, I even threw Electro in because he has an ongoing.
Oh, yeah.
And plus, when you're using Doom 2099, you really only want to play 1 card a turn. And then Electro can work it so you can play Dr. Doom and Spectrum on your last 2 turns.
That's nice.
Patriot in there for a while to boost up the regular Doom bots even more, but especially when Jotunheim was the featured location, I swapped him out for Luke Cage.
Okay.
So that was one of my most effective decks that I totally ripped off from everybody else. Although I didn't necessarily see a lot of people using Electro, I don't think, but if I figured it out, I'm sure other people did too. That's what I used a lot with him. I like the effect with the shield. I do think they ought to give U.S. Agent the bonus, but then they'd probably have to knock down his power a little bit. I found it to be a pretty fun card. I mean, not game breaking, but definitely useful. I think I tried him a few times in just a regular move deck. Didn't end up using Kraven very much with him. Like I said, I just focused on the ongoing stuff pretty much. But there's some things you could try with move decks with him.
Okay. All right. Next up is Joaquin Torres, Falcon II. 3 cost, 4 power, ongoing. The on-reveal abilities of your 1 cost cards happen twice here. I think when we were last talking, I think I had bought Joaquin Torres and used him a little bit. I had my notes on here that I was going to use him with Falcon, and I still never did. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. And it's so funny because I continued to use him quite a bit throughout the whole season. And there were times where I was cussing like, daggone it, if I only had some space where Joaquin Torres was right now. I kept forgetting to do that. I did pair him with Moonstone. Moonstone was pretty helpful. I think I had Mystique in the deck too, just basically to get as much as I could out there. But really, you want to have a few 1 cost cards in your deck. That really limits the power. I haven't found a good rhythm with him yet. I'll just put it that way. So how about you?
Yeah, I got him pretty early on. I tried a whole deck based around him with Shauna to get some extra 1 costs out there, and not so much Falcon, but Beast. Although part of that was honestly somewhere in the back of my brain, I was like, well, they weren't both the Falcon at the same time. And I think they probably were, and like it matters. But where I found him most useful was as a complement in my Body Slide by No Fun deck. I got Yondu and Iceman in there. And then Spider-Ham, although Spider-Ham doesn't benefit from multiple uses because, that card's probably going to stay there once you pig it. So I should probably put Silver Sable in there to reuse him and not so much clear space, but reuse him. I put in there. So I would play a couple of at 1 cost, drop Joaquin, and then play Misery. So you could have Yondu take out 3 cards.
Yeah, you did that to me, I think, while we were playing, either that night after we recorded. I remember I loved the Misery combo that you had with Joaquin. And I thought if I had Misery, I'd be doing that a lot.
I can't really take all the credit for it. I mean, it was in Thunderbolts number 174 that first of their mini classic team ups.
Yes, the old fastball special. I wonder what they would have called that.
Oh yeah, the Misery Bird. I don't know.
Oh, sure.
Something like that. I didn't think that one through very well. But yeah, that's where I used him. And then in the latest update, they dropped him down to a 2 cost, 2 power because they were saying with the 3/4, he was maybe a little hard to get out there. Although that's where Misery came in handy because you could just play those 1 costs forever and you weren't trying to double them up on the first run through. You were trying to on the second one. So. But yeah, that's where I used him. I got that deck a little more balanced because White Tiger's in there too, so she won't go twice. But if Misery activates her, then all you're out is 1 power, and then you get another Tiger Spirit in there.
Oh, nice. Smart.
So got Werewolf by Night bouncing around in there too. So
yeah. All right. Next up, Thaddeus Ross. 2 cost, 2 power. When your opponent ends a turn with unspent energy, draw a card with 10 or more power. Now, I wrote down here I didn't see him a lot. Really, I think this past month, I did not really play a whole lot of Snap. So that might be a reason why I didn't see him, because I wasn't playing the game a whole lot. But I know I've seen that animation quite a few times. So I had to have seen him, the stupid drop in, and here comes the package all out. But I don't know if I really could gauge my success against him. I feel like he was not much of a factor in a lot of the games I played because I was not screaming, oh no, here we go.
No, I don't remember playing against him a lot. I got him and I put him in my Shulkanaut deck because I've got a lot of 10 power cards in there. And, part of that deck, you've got Sunspot. Well, Ross is when your opponent ends a turn with unspent energy. So yeah, I mean, I'm trying to not spend all my energy in that deck, but I also have Red Hulk in there. So it's like a 2-for-1 if you got them both out there. And Thunderbolt can bring Red Hulk to you, and also he is Red Hulk, unless we're talking about the General Maverick version of the Red Hulk. Red, white, and blue trunks. I use him in there. He fits in that deck fine. I had to take out Kyra, so that got rid of some of my indestructibility, but that wasn't too much of a downside. It just gives you a chance to get more of those cards out there. I found him to be pretty useful. He's not somebody you build a deck around, but he can complement some stuff, and it didn't go hurt you.
All right. Okay, next up, Red Wing, 3 costs, 4 power. The first time this moves, add a card from your hand to the old location. So yeah, I came really close. This is the one card that I was really tempted to try and get, just because I was like, it'd be nice to have them in a move deck, just pull something from your hand and you're good. But I felt like the randomness of it just didn't appeal to me as much. Plus, you were going to be move focused, which is fine. I don't have a big problem with that. But it just seemed like I didn't feel there was enough of an upside here for me to pull the trigger and get Red Wing. So what about you?
Yeah, I wasn't overly excited about him. I mean, I like the idea, but he doesn't move on his own. And there's so many cards I usually use in a move deck. You know, I'm still, from those bonuses, I've still been in pretty good shape with keys. So I was like, yeah, I'll give it a try. And I got him on my first one.
Oh, so, nice.
But I may have put him in a move deck. Where I ended up using him the most was on the weekend where you had the bonus missions for winning with Sam Wilson, Cap, and Red Wing. And so I just put him in that deck because I use Madam Web in there in case I don't draw Sam and I want to move the shield at least once. Then I would just play him where I played Madam Web, and that would get him moving.
Oh, okay. All right.
So, I mean, it's a fun card, but like I said, there's not a lot. Well, I haven't done a lot with him. There's so many other move cards that you would put in before him, but it's fun to have out there. And there may be some other things I could do with him. I didn't really experiment with him much beyond that weekend. So sometimes it's good to have a card that gives you an option to move. I use Penny Parker more in non.
Hey, it's Amy Brown from The Bobby Bone Show. Join me in supporting St. Jude Children's Research Hospital for a chance to win a trip to meet Megan Maroney at the 2025 iHeart Country Festival in Austin, Texas on May 3rd, hosted by Bobby Bones. We're going to hook you up with tickets, flights, hotel, food credits, and a meet and greet with Megan Maroney. Take action now to support St. Jude and help cure childhood cancer, and you're going to be entered for a chance to win. Visit iHeartCountryTrip.com to learn more.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Move decks than in move decks. So now, but obviously you have to have something to get him moving. I've got Madam Web in that deck anyway, so I figured why not try Red Wing in there, and that gives her something else to move. Because honestly, if I get Sam Wilson out there, there's not much point in having Madam Web. But you can toss the shield over to Steve if Sam doesn't show his face. I think the first couple times, like the first 2 or 3 games I played with Sam Wilson, I didn't draw him.
Oh, drives me nuts. Jumping down the list here because I know I didn't have Diamondback in there last time. I better make sure we jump to Diamondback here. Diamondback was the last card that you could get for the regular weeks during the season. 3 cost, 3 power. Ongoing enemy cards here afflicted with negative power have an additional -2 power. It's pretty cut and dry. She comes out there, you want to get that other side hit with some -2 power for sure. I saw her a few times. I can't say that she was obliterating me every game, but she was definitely a factor in winning some wins. And then today, I was sitting there thinking about Bullseye with her would be great. Kind of going back to my Bullseye deck and messing around with that. And I was like, man, having Diamondback sitting in a lane where you've got Bullseye hitting them with a card. So that is -2 power. Bullseye hits them for, is it -1 each time?
Yeah, -1.
So yeah, if they don't have a whole lot of cards out there, you could be doing a lot to a stacked up lane, which would be kind of nice. I'm sure the points that I was hitting, I saw Ajax with her, and I'm pretty sure Hazmat was definitely there with her.
Oh, yeah. Moonstone would be a good one with her, too. She's the only one of the spotlight cards I didn't get this time. I tried a couple times, but I thought she was useful. I got the variants for Nimrod, which is a Lionel U, so that's pretty cool. And then Phoenix Force, I don't think I want to burn 3 or 4 keys on Diamondback. I think 2 was my limit there.
Yeah. All right. Now we get into the Sanctum Showdown cards. These are all cards. Each of them costs like 1,500.
1,200.
12. Okay.
Yeah. 1,200. And you got a random one from the portal.
Oh, all right. Uncle Ben, 1 cost, 2 power. When this card is destroyed, replace it with Spider-Man. Didn't see him 1 time. Now, I don't know if that's because we're still kind of midway through Sanctum Showdown right now, or if he just seems like, again, Uncle Ben, 1 cost, 2 power, just to bring in Spider-Man. I don't know.
So wrong, it's right.
Right.
I got him. I used him a couple times, I think. He just makes sense with Killmonger. I don't know, but I haven't seen him a whole lot either.
I like Killmonger.
Yeah, I tried him out once or twice, but it felt wrong.
It's legitimately you're just bringing him out there to kill him.
Robertson deserves better.
He does. All right. Well, then Gorgon, 2 cost, 3 power. Ongoing, your opponent's cards that didn't start in their deck cost 1 more, maximum 6. I saw Gorgon a couple times. Didn't mean much to me. That is a very select ability. So I don't know, man. I wasn't trying to get Gorgon. I wasn't trying to get any of these cards, to be honest. The one that I would love to get is Laufey, but we'll talk about him in a second. I'm not impressed with Sanctum Showdown. I think it's too much of a drag, and I know I could probably talk about that in the meta, but Gorgon, 2 cost, 3 power, still not enough to bring me to the table to be like, okay, I got to get this card. What about you?
Gorgon was the one of the 3 that I wanted the most.
Okay.
But I mean, I could see him. I mean, immediately I wanted to put him in the deck with Master Mold, Ronin, and Darkhawk, and it didn't really do a whole lot. I think there was one time that I played him with Mystique or whatever. I can see him being frustrating, but it was pretty much a 50-50 deck. I won some, I lost some. I'm more disturbed by the fact that he doesn't seem to be wearing anything under that kimono.
If there was just a card that kind of went with it, that made that ability a little bit more, because the only thing that it does really is you get the card, you have a choice of not playing that card. I like the Master Mold idea because that fills their hand with 2 cards. And if they're at 7 at that point, then they've got to play something. Now they got 5 other cards that they can make a decision to play with. I just feel like there should be something that says if, some type of ability for some card that says if this card's cost was increased, or if any of your enemies had an increased cost, like +2 power. If they played that card that you hit them with an extra power on, not only do they lose energy, but you have a card in your hand that'll give you some kind of extra boost.
That's the deck I made with them. I put Black Widow in there to get the Widow's Bite, because then it will be a 1 cost for them to play. And then Korg and Rock Slide, so they'd be getting 2 cost rocks in their hand if they drew any of them. So that was the idea. It looks like it makes sense. Now, don't look at that card number 7 in that deck. You could switch that out with anything. Cassandra Nova, who needs her?
I was about to suggest what you ought to do. Get Cassandra Nova out of there.
I look at it and I'm like, that should be a workable deck. It wasn't bad, but I don't know. It didn't set the world on fire. Yeah. I stuck with the Captain's America and Doctor's Doom, and my Bullseye Dakin deck pretty much were the things that worked for me this season.
Yeah. All right. Next up is Laufey, 4 cost, 5 power. On reveal, steal 1 power from each other card here. This was like if Laufey and Diamondback, like those two just belong together right there. This is the one I wanted to get because I felt like, you're stealing.
I was reading some of the old Stan Lee romance comics with the Faye and Diamondback, right?
It's like Millie the Model 34.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, they made a guest appearance. That's where the whole romance started, if I remember correctly.
There was that issue of Journey into Mystery where the Loki's on the cover screaming at Diamondback, "You're not my mom."
So yeah, I wanted to get Laufey just to see what we could get there. But again, Sanctum games are just not enough to bring me to the grind. There was a Reddit post, and you may have even seen it. A guy put on there, he was like, I'll be honest, guys. He had a ton of cards. He had gone through like a good bit of this stuff. And I think he had hit the final level. And he was like, I'll be honest, guys. I don't know if I have another 80 Sanctum games in me. Because he had gone and gone and gone. I assume the level increases. But anyway, stuff I need to save for the meta. Kind of wish I would have got this card. Couldn't spring for him. I still got some time. I might dedicate some time to it. They need to speed things up in that mode. That's all I got to say.
It didn't really feel like that much of a grind to me. I got him too. I got all 3 of them.
I don't understand. Like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my gosh. First off, it annoyed me, number one, that it was Guardians of the Galaxy time.
Yeah.
That really bugged me. Like, those cards should have been banned because they give everybody's going to play them. But it just felt like, okay, here we go. All right. I got 17. Hooray. All right. Now I got to get another. Okay. I'm looking at that 200, how much ever I got to get. And I got to get another 350. Whew. Okay. Anyway, go ahead, man. I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. Laufey, I thought you gave me the idea for this, but maybe it was something else you were showing. You showed me something with Lasher in your Namora deck, and I threw him in the Namora deck.
Nice.
He worked pretty well. And I need to try some other stuff with him. Boo could help you get him out there earlier. But I found him to be pretty useful. Actually, come to think of it, I haven't used him. I've got Symbiote Spider-Man in that deck, but that'd be another good card to pair him with, because he's a card that can, you don't really want him. I guess it's a wash if he steals power from your cards, because it all still stays in there. It's good to have him alone on your side. And then you have Nomura boosting him up. So he fit in pretty well there. The main thing is I'm saving one of my ice borders for him.
Ooh. Oh, yeah.
I found him to be, I'm not sure why I wasn't as enthused about him. He's definitely the most useful of the three. You're right on that. But Gorgon was the one I wanted to try because there were so many Iron Patriots. Although I guess if it's +1 cost and Iron Patriot drops it down by 4, that's not too much of an impediment. But I found him to be pretty useful.
Okay. All right. Location. To finish out the discussion on the season, we got Smithsonian Museum. Your cards here have +1 power for each ongoing among them. It wasn't a game breaker. It wasn't one of those locations that catches things on fire. I felt it could have been better. It really only gave the advantage to the people who were playing like mega ongoing decks, I think, in my opinion. So
which I was playing a lot with my, I'm going to call that deck Cap Doom.
Cap Doom.
I mainly just call it Saga and use the Marvel card back for Marvel Saga. The one issue of which I learned everything about was my entire foundation of the Marvel universe. But I think I need to call it Cap Doom.
Cap Doom.
But keep bouncing the shield back to the Smithsonian, and you got 2 Caps boosting up, and then Steve boosting everybody up. I found it useful.
Madripoor. After each turn, give each highest cost card here +2 power. This location passed me by to where I was like, okay, what do I need to do here again? I kept getting it confused with the highest power card. Then finally, I was like, no, it's highest cost.
Once I reminded myself, like you said, that it was highest cost, not highest power, I was able, I didn't build a deck specifically for it. Iron Man's the guy that really needs to be on there. But there were a couple times where I was like, okay, if I put this card here, that's going to be useful. So I used it to my advantage a few times.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is our discussion on the previous season titled Brave New World. Thanks a lot for joining us. Make sure to tune in tomorrow for the next installment of Snap Material.
Hey, it's Amy Brown from The Bobby Bones Show. Join me in supporting St. Jude Children's Research Hospital for a chance to win a trip to meet Megan Maroney at the 2025 iHeart Country Festival in Austin, Texas on May 3rd, hosted by Bobby Bones. We're going to hook you up with tickets, flights, hotel, food credits, and a meet and greet with Megan Maroney. Take action now to support St. Jude and help cure childhood cancer, and you're going to be entered for a chance to win. Visit iHeartCountryTrip.com to learn more.
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you want to get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No